as for the mates that are around, do not worry. They will pick up after you. Well, please do not use that as an excuse to basically make a mess of the place. I would appreciate it if you would tidy up and keep it clean. Well, to the best of your abilities, of course.
I'll have you know, Alyssia is quite meticulous in her handling of things.
Well, I believe that should do it for the night. I do have some other matters to attend to, so if you excuse me, I shall let you rest. And he leaves, leaving you with the warfolk and your bodyguard in the room.
Alyssia just immediately turns to the two warfolk. Right, so you were the ones who asked for information, correct?
Yep. If you need to know anything, just ask away.
Well, seeing as this event is called the Blood Bowl, and I gather that it's also a social gathering of sorts, I'm assuming there's an exchange of goods somewhere.
You would think that, wouldn't you? You should probably throw away your common sense from, well, where you come from, since vampire society is very different, not only from human society, but pretty much from all the other races as well. You've probably noticed, but we don't exactly care much for the material, well, gains of the world and stuff. Here, status is king. Everything else comes second. As such, no, there is not any, well, change of goods and such. Not really, not in its truest form. The only thing that's being used as a bargaining chip is humans. Alison just glares at her. Seriously? You realize what you're doing, right? Haley says, sorry, that's a bit insensitive. Well, you know,
Come now, we are among vampires. Of course humans are being used as bargaining tools. Why should that be surprising?
Well, yeah, so let's just say that what is considered here food supplies is redistributed, well, among the houses, and that's pretty much what it boils down to when it comes to exchange to goods, but that's honestly a daily thing. You don't need a special event for that.
What about the exchange of information, weapons, that kind of thing? Things that doesn't necessarily have wealth as a value, more like application or usefulness.
Well, in this community we solve our issues through mostly non-violent means. As such, there is not really anything, shall we say, related to weapons. Apart from the beautiful craftsmanship weapons that are being used as prize, there's not really that many weapons around here.
I take it they're mostly for show more than... well...
That is correct. As for information itself, considering we lived in a closed-off society, the information here is, well, mostly well-guarded clan secrets that people like to keep to themselves. But that's about it. It's not really something you like, you know, sharing. After all the different clans, shall we say, have their unique ways of doing things. As such, they have unique secrets to themselves.
Well, doesn't this turn out to be a brilliant waste of time?
What do you mean?
What? All of this is just a spectacle. It has no real value.
Well, maybe from when you're standing, but to the vampires, this is the most important event. After all, it's going to decide who is going to be the next head of the community.
True enough. But you're right, for us it doesn't really matter.
Well, one way or another, you're here, you've decided to take part in it, right? So...
Call it payment for services rendered.
But yeah, anyway, since we'll be here in charge of you guys and all that, make sure to ask us if you have any questions about the other clans, about the other participants, and anything else that might pop up in your pretty little heads there. And by the way, Haley looks towards you, Iris, and she makes pervert-like hand gestures and breathes heavily for a little bit. If you need any extracurricular lessons after hours, I'll be more than happy to assist you.
Here's a stain behind Yana.
Alyssia just like glances at Iris and then looks back to Haley. I'm afraid you're barking up the wrong tree. She's not the outgoing type.
Well, yeah, I can kind of smell she isn't, unlike you.
Excuse
Jesus,
me?
you smell like 1,000 men.
Iris looks confused.
At that
It's like,
point,
wait, what?
Lucretia is just gonna burst out laughing, pointing at Alyssia. Haha, you smell like a whore.
Really? Oh my.
And she just looks at them like, yeah, so?
Iris goes, wait, am I meant to be offended by that?
No. Yana just turns to Iris. No, you smell fine. It's Alyssia that smells like a prostitute.
By the way, she looks towards you, Lucretia, and says, "You also smell kind of nice, but I get a weird vibe anytime I look at you. I feel like somebody is is glaring at me and threatening to kill me whenever I think of you. It's weird."
I just immediately narrow my eyes at Ashura.
Ashura is just a sword, and that somehow she looks away from you and whistles.
Not that I really mind.
Wait,
Right, so...
she's off my
she's-
hip! Wait, why did she protect me? God damn.
Right, in that case, I
She
have
doesn't
two
care if
questions.
somebody gropes you.
Carry on.
Sorry, what'd you say?
In that case, I have two questions.
Go ahead.
First of all, do you know who our first opponent would be?
That will be decided on the day of the tournament, so there is no way to say who is going to face who. The process is random.
Great. Well, I guess that settles that. It would be nice to know the relative level of power within the tournament, so to speak.
Well, that although we do not know exactly who you will face, we do know each representative for the clans, and we do have some general information for them. Also, we can always we can always go and attend one of the social gatherings. I'm sure that some of the representatives will be there. We can maybe prod them for some information. Also, who knows? If you're lucky, you might convince some of them to make a deal and not take part in the event, which would sway the things in your favor.
Why would they agree to that deal?
Why not? Everybody knows that this year's victor is decided, so why wouldn't they want to make a deal?
Oh. Well, I'm sure there's some hotshots who want to prove themselves and are going to wind up getting themselves beaten the snot out of.
You'd be surprised. After all, you are representing your clan, and if you, well, make a fool out of yourself, that's not gonna end well for you.
Really? So if they try and get defeated, that is more of a shame than if they simply forfeit?
Well, let's just say that some of the clans are a bit old-fashioned. They prefer death over dishonor, so, you know.
Right. But in that case, can they really, well, default on the match? Or will they be executed in that case as well?
Well, for, shall we say, those families that view this as more of a test of honor than anything else, to simply, well, walk away from battle is unacceptable.
So
Every time the event is held, there are casualties without a doubt. However, there are far less than you might think. Most of the battles end without somebody dying. For most of them are quite brutal.
Spectacular. Well, apart from that, how are we going to kill time in between gatherings and whatnot?
Well, honestly, the best course of action for you would be to stay here and out of sight and out of trouble. Though, if you're intent on going to the keep and being part of a few events or exploring the lower city, we can't exactly stop you since you've been given permission to do as you wish, so we'll just accompany you. Well, your bodyguard. Us too if we have to, I guess.
Right. So what's on the agenda for tonight? Nothing?
Well, you are humans after all. I'm assuming that you have to sleep right now, correct? Even though,
Well,
well,
that's true.
it would be best if you change your schedule, considering most of, shall we say, our activities are at night.
I think I may look around. Iris says and looks towards the door.
Katie says, I'll show you around. Twitch, twitch, with the ears. I know, the perfect place to show you.
We're going to be very on guard.
It's okay, it's this way. It's called a very dark basement with a nice comfy bed that nobody goes to. There's also chains and whips.
Maybe I should save you venturing.
At any rate, Allison, we should get back to work. Right. Well, I guess we'll be around. Let us know if you need anything else, okay? We'll be off now. See you later. Let's stay out of trouble.
Iris waves him off. Like, see you.
And that only leaves the girl that still hasn't said anything, who's behind you, and all you hear is the sound of her sucking on her straw.
Right, now what?
Slurp. Slurp.
We were whisked away so quickly I didn't even have a chance to say hi to Mark.
Slurp. Slurp. Slurp.
Anyway, should we explore the place, or do you think we should head to bed and, you know, discuss a few things?
I personally kind of want to go to bed, if we're being honest.
Fair enough.
Wait, you want to go to bed and discuss things? I don't understand.
Lucretia is going to bed,
It's
as
called
she leaves Sibby to be confused.
it's called laying down and talking. You know, there's not just two states of being in a bed.
I think Alyssia's mind immediately went, wait, you wanna share a bed with me? We're having sex now?
No, she's like, why would you why would you lay down on the bed and talk? That's dumb. Like you're in the bed for one of two reasons, and if you're not doing either of those, why the fuck are you in the bed?
Slurp.
How soft is that? She's gonna look towards the girl and go, so are you here to watch us all night, or?
Slurp.
Considering she's apparently our bodyguard, I would imagine that she's going to follow us like a shadow.
Okay. Well, enjoy yourself while we rest.
Slurp.
Isn't the glass running out by now?
Tiny slips.
It's about to run out.
Check.
Yana is gonna stand behind and just watch her to see what she does when the glass finally runs out.
Actually, question, is the girl looking at us, or is she just looking at the glass, or like looking at nothing in particular?
No, she's looking at you guys.
Check. Alyssa's just gonna look back and wait for the glass to be empty.
You see
Just
that she...
just lying and see what happens.
You see that there's a slight change in her expression. She seems very irritated that you guys are basically looking at her and waiting for her drink to finish. Slurp. Slurp. She's trying to milk that drink for everything that's worth, so you guys don't get your
He's gonna spit
fulfillment
the
and
last
seeing
bit out
her.
and then drink it again.
But sadly, it seems like she's got nothing else to slurp as the drink is about to end. And as her drink ends and you guys are still very adamantly looking at her, she seems to take that as a personal offense and she seems frustrated at that. She puts her drink down and gets very annoyed at you guys and just
What?
glares at you. Her hair, by the way, instantly grew as she got mad, and you see that blood is starting to swirl around her. That's her own blood, by the way, that she's using as a weapon. And she looks very angrily at you guys.
Iris stares back.
Alyssa's raised an eyebrow. There we go. And then she
Yana's
simply-
also kinda confused.
And then she simply looks like in another direction and walks off.
Stop
All of a
that.
sudden, as you guys turn away from her, all you can hear is again slurp.
No, Yana
Well-
hasn't turned away. Yana's still standing there, just kind of confused.
Some of the blood that was flowing around basically entered her cup and she sat down and is starting to drink it again. Slurp. Slurp.
Never-ending cycle.
Now Shura thinks about it. Hey, that's actually an interesting idea. I wonder if I can just keep drinking my blood. Wonder if that works. Nah, why would I do that when I can drink Iris and Lucretia?
Haven't you tried that already?
Ah, I'll get her one day, you'll see.
No, I meant drinking your own blood.
Oh, no, I haven't actually. Didn't think that was
Really?
an option.
I would have thought you would have tried that first.
Oh no, I was kind of busy consuming a lot of people.
By the way, regarding those things we encountered earlier, can you eat those?
You mean the shadows?
Yes.
Nope, don't think so. I mean, I doubt they even have blood.
So the blood is the key then, I suppose?
Maybe.
It would seem you're not unlike a vampire.
Ah, I figured you guys would raise that at some point. But, well, while I do require nourishment, sort of like them, it's a bit of a different thing. Like I said, my condition is a curse. They just exist like that.
So you don't have a common ancestor, so to speak?
If you think about it, Agatha is an abyssal like me, but she doesn't drink blood or eat flesh, so you know.
In that case, what does an abyssal do if they're not cursed? What is
Well-
their ability, so to speak?
Well, abyssals do not require any sort of nourishment apart from mana. Basically energy in the air. You know, the stuff you guys use to cast magic? That's all they need to be sustained.
I can see why there would be a connection between an abyssal and an oni. Especially if the abyssal is more ruthless. After all, in that case, an oni would be nothing but a giant food supply.
I guess you can look at it that way. Anyway, what brought on this conversation?
Curiosity. Knowledge is power.
I don't know, seems like a kind of a weird thing to be interested about. I mean, how does that shit serve you? Doesn't seem like very useful knowledge to me.
All knowledge can be useful if you apply it correctly.
Oh, that reminds me. Oi, Lucy. It's cold. I'm scared. I hate new places. You should hug me tonight. I don't want to be alone.
Lucy narrows her eyes. Are you gonna try and suck my blood while I'm asleep?
That's a rhetorical question, right? I don't have to answer it?
No, you do have to answer it.
I don't know. I mean, under the covers late at night, feeling each other's warmth. I mean, anything can happen, really. Who knows?
Lucretia climbs out of the covers and then holds out for her to climb under the covers.
Hooray! And Shura quickly materializes and dives under the covers.
She immediately wraps Ashura up like a burrito, very tightly so she can't escape.
Oi.
She then lays down next to Ashura and gives her head pats. But she's pinned.
Right. So I'm thinking you guys are probably going to retire for now. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You'll notice that your senses get a little, shall we say, confused. You feel like you've slept, you definitely have, but there doesn't seem to be much of a difference in the, well, weather outside. Sure, you get the vague idea that it's daytime, but there's not really a sky up in the air. the clouds are very thick and heavy. There's a lot of fog, so there's not really a lot of well, sunlight pretty much anywhere. It's actually very depressing if you're used to seeing the sunlight and, you know, enjoying the nice shiny rays outside. But if you're a basement dweller, fuck, this is amazing.
Right, so normally Keen Mind allows me to know how many hours there is, like, to sundown or sun up, but since that doesn't seem to be applicable here, can I at least tell that time has actually passed?
Yep, you'd say it was about 6 or 7 hours since you guys have slept.
This place doesn't make much sense.
What do you mean?
We've been asleep for somewhere around 6 or 7 hours, and yet nothing in the sky has changed. In fact, I can't even tell if this is supposed to be day or night.
Magic?
Possibly. Alyssia just glances at Yana.
What you would know, Yana, about vampire societies, because they are nocturnal and they don't like the sun very much, usually they make their communities in areas that are heavily shaped with magic to their liking. As such, they do have a night and day cycle. However, during the day, the sun is pretty much blocked out by heavy clouds and much fog. So technically it is day, but you'll struggle to find any sunlight anywhere.
Yeah,
So it is a little bit lighter. It's easier for normal people to see than during the night.
As Alyssia looks at Yana inquisitively, Yana just tilts her head and says, "They're nocturnal. They don't like the sunlight."
By the way, the rain is still falling outside. You see that in the ground room, the one that you're seeing on the picture, rainwater is still piling left and right. You see the maid from earlier, the one that brought you here. She has a giant wooden bucket in hand, and she just walks over, puts a bucket underneath one of the pillars that water is dropping, and after a while, because she doesn't have anything else, she just picks up the bucket and places it somewhere else, and this cycle continues until the bucket is full, at which point she goes outside, dumps it, comes back and repeats the process. A pointless effort, to be sure.
Oh.
Also, in the couch, in the common area, all you hear is slurp, slurp. She's been there all night, by the way.
Of course she has.
So, do you not sleep, or?
Slurp, slurp.
In all honesty, Iris, I think it's best to give up trying to talk to her.
Never.
By the way, Lucretia, roll me perception to see if you were attacked during the night.
Check.
I don't know how
Ro-
she would. I secured her.
Rather
I restrained her.
If she noticed if she was attacked during the night.
Lucretia, during the night, Ashura was a bad girl and she tried to attack you.
And I assume in my sleep because I just realized that as she tried to either bite or glomp me, I just kind of grabbed her like cheeks and like pushed them together. She's like, "No!"
Ashura is very
continue
cranky
sleeping.
this morning. She seems hungry and very irritated.
I offer her some of my, but then I go, that reminds me. Shouldn't we cook some food?
Yes. Lucretia summons in, what is... It's, give me a second, it's... she summons in 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water in containers.
Huh, cool. Not bad.
Aha! Iris, you sense danger. Your butt is in danger. And as you turn around to make sure that it's fine, somebody yoinks on some of the tasty food you just made and fucks off into the shadows.
I look around. Where'd she go?
Explorer.
Yes.
Can I see this movement?
Yes.
Can I see
It's
into
Haley.
the shadows?
Yep,
Who was
it's
it?
Haley. She numbed some of the food.
Can I intercept her as she does that?
Roll me athletics. Nope, she's faster. Whoosh. You catch a glimpse of her tail as she disappears.
Anyway, I made enough for all of us. Here. She says and starts passing you the well-cooked food out. I guess I'm gonna have to dress up for this tournament, huh?
By the way, Iris, until now, you didn't realize it, but something is stirring in your bed.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm looking over.
it's under the covers.
I'm gonna slowly walk over and basically use this to as thief, since I assume she's out of sword form, and try lifting the sheet. Like trying to stay away from a dangerous animal.
This is what you see after you remove the covers.
The fuck?
I look towards the others and go, I've done nothing.
Yana just looks away. Iris, I didn't expect this.
don't say that.
Actually, Alyssia goes over to Iris and just leans down, then like first sniffs her neck, then sniffs her hands,
Don't
then
you
just-
start.
and then like sniffs a little bit lower, and she's like, "No, she's right. She hasn't done anything."
I cover. Lucretia covers Ashura's eyes as she is continuing to cuddle Ashura. Ashura,
as
do not
you
look at
cover
such
her eyes-
heresy.
As you cover her eyes, Ashura is very confused. What's going on? Why is it nighttime again? She's like a bird. She's about to fall asleep.
Do not look at such heresy.
Do not look at heresy, little demon.
This girl in
Yes.
Iris's bed. What kind of demon is she?
She's absolutely a vampire, and she's wearing a maid outfit.
Iris is just checking her neck. I feel like.
You have not been bitten.
Okay.
Alyssia sort of like walks over and looks at her. Can we help you?
She looks at you and very slowly, in a lazy manner, says in a quizziting tone, "Help me?"
Well, I'm assuming there's something you want since you're here.
She just slowly starts getting out of bed and fixes up her clothes. In bed?
I'm gonna roll insight to see if she's fucking with me on purpose or if she genuinely doesn't understand.
Okay, go ahead. You get the sense that she is weird. She understands you, but her way of conveying and holding up a conversation seems to be weird. But no, she's not fucking with you.
Let's see. Do I know which language vampires usually converse in when they're not speaking? Like, have we speaking human, like a human language this entire time? I'm
You're
assuming
speaking the common tongue that demons and humans understand.
So. Right, but wait, which tongue is that again? Like, but, okay, for example, like I know what I speak Olvean, Goblin, and Demonic. Which one of those would this be?
Common. Neither one of those. Common.
Okay. Like, okay, do I don't know which language vampires usually converse in.
They usually converse in human tongues and common ones because, well, guess what? You're their prey. So, you know.
Okay, but like between themselves.
Well,
Just human
between
tongues.
themselves, they usually speak with this one. When we're talking about elder vampires and whatnot, they basically speak in abyssal or in, well, basically proper demonic.
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wild